In this lecture, we are going to learn to calculate some other measures of descriptive statistics. So go to the Analyze dialog box, Analyze menu, then go to Descriptive Stats, and now again click on Frequencies. So we have already done the frequencies. Now we are going to look to some more options. Look at the Stats tab. If you click it, then you look at 4 types of descriptive stat that we already discussed. So now let's try to calculate mean, median, mode and sum and try to interpret them. So mean is basically going to give you the average of your data. Mean is one of the most commonly reported stats, and it's like, say, a norm to report mean often in journals in the descriptive analysis part, even if you are writing any project or something or communicating in a daily life situation. Often we talk about the means rather than median or mode. But means are susceptible to extreme values, so their values are highly influenced by high and low scores, extreme scores. So in that case, if your sample is having very high standard deviation, so in that case, rather than reporting the mean, better you report some other stats, and the preferable stat is median. Similarly, if you are having a non-normal data, so in that case, rather than reporting the mean, you are supposed to report the median, because median is basically a value that divides your entire observation, entire series into 2 equal parts. 50% of subjects scoring below that particular number that we call median, and 50% subjects scoring above the median value. So in that case, median is also trying to communicate to you the location of the score. So median can be a sort of location below which 50% values lie and above which 50% values lie. So in that case, or in that sense, median is also a type of percentile, and you can easily guess it's a 50th percentile. So in any data set, 50th percentile, 5050, 50th percentile and median values are always same. So keep in mind, generally we report mean, but if you are having very high dispersion in your data or your data is non-normal, so instead of reporting mean, report the median. If you do a non-parametric analysis like, say, Kruskal-Wallis test, Mann-Whitney test, Run's test, or any other test, so in that case it's a rule rather than any exception that to report median instead of mean values, because you apply a non-parametric test generally in case of violation of normality assumption. So that's why you don't report mean for the non-parametric test. As compared to this, you apply the median. Mode is basically the value that most frequently occurs in a data set. So you saw that you can also find out the mode by looking at the frequencies, but if you check on this option, so it's going to give you just a single value which is most commonly reported in a particular data set. And if you click on this sum option, so it's going to give you the sum total of all the observations for a variable. So in this case, for example, you are having the age variable or income variable, and if you select sum option for age and income variable, so it is going to give you the sum total of all the observations for age and income. Now sum total for all the observations for age might be a meaningless thing because you are not looking for total of all the subjects' age, but income might be instructive. So for example, I have 2 data sets and I want to know what is the sum of income in data set 1 and sum of income in data set 2. So that might give some insight about the data, but very less used, because you can fairly imagine that sum is not very helpful as compared to what mean, median and mode can do for us.